Hi, Theater Tuscaloosa. My name is Diany Rodriguez. Let me start again. Hi, my name is Diany Rodriguez. I didn't have to look down to see my name. I know my name. One more time. Hi, Theater Tuscaloosa. My name is Diany Rodriguez, and this is my Masterclass Monday. I am about to like blow your minds with a bunch of really sagely advice, so like strap in. Speaking of advice, always, I call this my adulting notebook. Always write down what you need to know. That's like, that one's free, so you're welcome. Let's see, let's look at the outline. Intro, boom, nailed it. Moving on. From? Question mark? Diany Rodriguez. I was born in Fajardo, Puerto Rico, but my parents were in the military, so we bounced around a lot. I went to kindergarten in Germany, stuff like that. And then my dad left the military when we were in Alabama. They were stationed at Fort McClellan, Alabama, and I started school there. And once my dad retired, my mom didn't want to take me out of school, so I finished school in Alabama. And then I applied to a number of colleges and universities, I think 3, and I went to the first one that accepted me, which was the University of Alabama, Roll Tide. So we'll check these things off. That was my intro. That's my from. Theater Tuscaloosa. If you could just take this moment right now to insert pictures of whatever productions I did at Theater Tuscaloosa. I remember one of them was Closer Than Ever. I think there's another one, potentially. I don't remember what it was. Again, meant a lot to me. I really loved my time there. They were always so kind and so wonderful. I just have the memory of a goldfish. It has nothing to do with the quality of the time or experience there. Next, bio. Oh, I hate bios. Raise your hand if you also hate bios. Yeah, that's a good bit of you. I get it. You get me. Film and TV wise, I think you can find me on The Outsider. It's an HBO show. I did a couple of episodes of Ray Donovan. I did New Amsterdam. Most recently, I am the new assistant district attorney on Law and Order, Organized Crime. It is the new reboot. Not a reboot, I guess it's the new spin-off, that's probably a better word for it, of Law & Order SVU. It's the Stabler spin-off, so big Chris Meloni fan, and getting to work with him is a super bucket list thing. I would say also potentially if you were a toddler around the 2006 to 2008 range, you might know me from the world tour of Dora the Explorer. So I'll let you just, marinate in those memories. That's about it. I think for the most part, my bio consists of film and TV maybe for the last 5 years, but mostly theater. And that's kind of what I thought I would continue to do until I left that to pursue law school or acting pedagogy. So I'm still sort of in the middle of my what I want to do with my life phase. That's, I guess, my bio is incomplete. Let's mark that off my list. Stage versus film. Oh man, I'm so glad you asked. Okay, so this was one of the things I always really like to talk to people about. So film and TV to me is science because since I'm never just concentrating on listening and responding, I'm also concentrating on my anatomy. I'm concentrating on how much I move my eyes, closing my mouth when I listen, if I'm looking camera straight on, or if I want to give them my profile, or if I want to seem, this is a thing I do sometimes, if I want to seem pensive, I will have a tendency to simply look away from the person. Those are things I never have to think about when I'm doing theater because I have the leeway of simply settling in and being myself. Film and TV is a matter of 4 different things happening in my brain, and also I have to act. Anytime I'm asked about the difference between film and TV, I always give them those examples of how much film to me is a science. I have to really, I'm never never just concentrating on being in the moment. I'm never concentrating on just listening and reacting. That to me is theater. That to me is when I can be the most me in the context of being a different character or being a different version of me. So those to me are some of the biggest differences between film and TV and theater. I will also say some of the less attractive differences between film and TV and theater. In my experience, I have found that theater is a lot more inclusive of different humanities, different races, different ethnicities, different body types, different sexualities. There's a whole spectrum of human that we haven't, in the film and TV world, quite gotten so comfortable with displaying. You know, there's still very much a standard of beauty in film and TV. We're trying to break it, and we should, and I want us to. I want it to not even be an issue anymore, but it is in film and TV. It really is. Another difference between film and TV and theater, I think, is this goes into the science aspect of it again. You, especially in sort of the way that film and TV is moving now, you don't really get to speak like a normal human in film and TV. I saw Dylan's Monday Masterclass, and he was talking about how Disney felt more like theater to him because he could speak at his normal voice. Well, that's not my normal voice. What I have noticed, especially like darker dramas, let's say your HBO, your Showtime, feature films, darker feature films, there's a lot of talking like this. And you have to pretend like this is how you always talk. It's pretty dark and it's mysterious, and if you're sad, you can go down here. And the expectation is that the audience will lean in to hear your sadness in a way that they will never do in theater. And who wants to do that? It's a shared experience. So that was a really fun thing that I had to really adjust to in film and TV. I remember one of my first gigs, I was really put in my place. The sound guy, the sound engineer, came up to me and was like, "You do theater, don't you?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Yeah, I can tell. I'm really gonna have to bring you down in the editing." And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "Yeah, you're projecting." I was like, first of all, how very dare you? Of course I'm projecting. And then I realized that that is not what people want from you in film and TV. So that's another thing for your notebook. You have to speak like a not human. Another one of the things I like to share with people about film and TV is that there's always so much money involved. It's very expensive, and there's a lot more pressure because you are counted on 100% to deliver, and to deliver perfectly every time. There are hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars at stake, and every minute that you waste trying to figure it out, trying to get settled, trying to get comfortable, trying to live your life like a human, you're quite frankly wasting money. So get ready for that. If you are less anxious than me, you know, good on you. You probably won't have to deal with that. But if you're super anxious like me, and if you in general try to concern yourself with other people's like comfortability or well-being, then it is something you will always very much be cognizant of. I chose Atlanta because it was close to primarily where I grew up in Jacksonville, Alabama, and it felt like home. And there wasn't much film and TV here when I moved here. Knock on wood, it has worked out. And here's the thing, I would recommend Atlanta to anyone. You can own property at reasonable rates. You can pretty much take control of if you want to be in any sort of art field, you can take ownership of that. Most of the industry here is based on self-tapes. So you can get yourself a setup like this. I have a light here and a light here, and I just have my backdrop, and I have my little microphone, and I can control the quality of what I put out. I find that is what has been most helpful for me in trying to find my way through a film and TV career. And it might be really helpful for you. Unfortunately, Atlanta is closed. We have no more room. So, I'm so sorry. I hear Chicago is hiring. So good luck. There are a lot of really important things I always try to impart to people seeking this job out. Number one, never feel like it is too late. Never. There is always a place for you. It is always your time. Your time is now, and your time is later. Don't ever feel like there's pressure. Look at every movie. There is a different age group in every movie. You will never age out of the ability to do this job. Same with theater. You will never age out. Take that pressure off of yourself. It will come to you, and you will be all right for it when the time is right, when you feel most safe, when you feel most capable. In the meantime, what I think makes the best performer, what I think makes the best actor, what I think makes the best artist is life experience. Get your life experience. Go backpacking across Europe. Don't be that ugly American who's never left the States. Be that person who finds some sort of a culture outside of themselves, who learns empathy through, understanding different life experiences. Read the newspaper every day. Get a hobby. And if it's too expensive to get a hobby, then go out every day, take a walk around your neighborhood, people watch. Your life experience is you working towards a career in the arts. Another thing I like to tell people going into sort of this industry is remember, you can make a living. And I mean make a living. You can have children, you can buy property off of just your wages from your artistry. But remember, you have to be open, right? It's not all gonna be a feature film and you're on the poster and that's it, you've made it. I do industrials, which are, anytime you get a new job, your employers are trying to teach you how to work. There's oftentimes that really cheesy video and it's like, hi, I'm Diany. Today I'm gonna teach you how best to greet a customer. Follow me. And then there's that weird and you leave and you go this way. Those things pay really, really well, and you can crank out 4 or 5 a month. There's also a really, really wonderful subset of performing and of artistry called a standardized patient. I know here in Atlanta, you can do it for future attorneys and for future medical professionals. And that's literally an acting gig. That's a theater gig. You are given a script every month where you feign having some sort of illness or some sort of malady, and you have to be a patient. And these fake patients test doctors' bedside manners. Or you have to be a witness for the prosecution, let's say, and you are testing future prosecutors. Those are all acting gigs, and again, they pay so well. Those are all opportunities that you have to live out whatever dream you have, if your dream was to be a performer. So don't limit yourself to only one kind of success. It's all success, and it is all what other people dream of doing. How many people do you know work out of a cuticle? Cuticle? No, a cubicle with no windows, and they're generally afraid that their boss is going to walk past their cubicle and see that they're being unproductive. You get to live a really wonderful life performing for a career. So give yourself the grace and the opportunity to find every version of that, because it's all equally fulfilling. So don't sell yourself short. It has always been very, very, very important to me that everything that I do has a meaning. I'm very intentional with everything that I do, and I have found a lot of freedom and ownership in my career by doing that and living that same way in a film and TV and theater industry. Center yourself. Be the best version of yourself. Go out and do things. Become a diversified version of yourself. And it will make the inherent rejection in this job and the inherent othering in this job and the inherent different forms of shaming that occur in this job, it will make them so much more bearable. I dabble in a field of equity, diversity, and inclusion, EDI work. And regarding EDI work and things like that, one of the things I always want to impart to people is, as thoughtful human beings sharing space in an already difficult profession, we should consider it our duty to be as thoughtful and as intentional as we can be. So I always, always, always implore, specifically my beautiful white brothers and sisters and anybody with proximity to whiteness, to be intentional about the jobs they choose to accept, the things they choose to audition for, and the way in which they speak to other people. I am not Native American. I have played Native American twice in my career. I'm ashamed of it, but I also didn't quite understand the intricacies of the issue and how harmful it could be. I no longer audition for that. Let us leave the door open for people to be able to tell their own stories. My LGBTQIA brothers and sisters out there, they deserve the opportunity to be able to tell their own stories. I am not. I love my beautiful LGBTQIA brothers and sisters out there, and I will audition for something if their sexuality isn't central to their character. If I happen to be auditioning for a woman who is a lesbian, and you only know that she's a lesbian because her wife appears in the background of one scene, but really she's, a superhero, or she's a crime fighter, or she's an attorney fighting for people. Her sexuality is not central to her character and to the arc and to the theme of the piece. I don't feel like I'm robbing somebody of the opportunity to tell that story. And that although I'm an actor, absolutely, and I assume I can play anything, I shouldn't. It is our job to be really intentional and to leave the door open for underrepresented people, for underrepresented voices. That's our job, because we live in a system already that doesn't necessarily value every voice. So if we want to change the industry, we have to be stewards of that change. I hope that you took copious amounts of notes because I spoke so much. I'm so sorry if I have made anyone uncomfortable with the things that I have spoken about. But again, I would implore you to look inside because it's not about you. So maybe, just maybe, your fragility is coming into play, but that is neither here nor there. Thank you so much, my friends, for taking this opportunity. I wish you all the best of luck. Anyone can do it. Don't let anyone tell you less and different. Remember, there is an entire industry out there based on people just being beautiful on camera. They don't have to say anything. Maybe that's your niche, right? Just find your niche. Find a thing that makes you feel fulfilled, and you can do it, and you can buy a house. Maybe you can buy multiple properties, and then you can have a side career flipping homes. Boom. I figured out your life for you. Next question.